more now on a report into how police forces in England and Wales deal with domestic violence. Her Majesty's Inspectorate of Constabulary has found what it's described as alarming and unacceptable weaknesses in the way cases are investigated. Let's talk now to Kudakwashe and Nyakudya, who runs an organisation called Kahrmel Wellness, which helps women who've experienced domestic violence. She joins us live from our Birmingham studio. Thank you for joining us. And I know you yourself are a victim of domestic abuse. What sort of things happened to you, and what sort of support did you get?
Okay, I survived 10 years of domestic violence and abuse, and I endured all the facets of domestic violence and abuse, financial abuse, physical abuse, emotional, psychological abuse, and sexual abuse. And I have to say that at crisis point, the police were very helpful to me. And I think this is what the report today shows. It is showing not only the critical aspects of what police are not doing, but it's also showing the good things that police are doing, and it's reporting that the initial processes are much better than the other processes. They're actually saying that 4 out of 5 victims are saying that the police have helped them adequately at the initial stages. However, when it comes to post-separation, which is after leaving the perpetrator, we've got a lot of weaknesses, not only in the police, but across government. So if we want to look at the bigger picture, I know that we do need improvements within the police force, but we are thankful for what they are doing. Looking at the bigger picture, we see that the police are actually doing much better work than other agencies like social services, as well as the courts and CAFCAS.
Okay, and I think your husband was a Christian, wasn't he? And you had issues with the fact that the church he went to wouldn't help him and you through this, or wouldn't even acknowledge what was happening.
That is correct, and that is a problem that we encounter continuously in faith communities, because we work with faith communities. So my personal story actually reflects the general picture in faith communities. Church leaders and other faith leaders are not educated adequately on what domestic violence is and how they must respond. Usually, victims are forced to reconcile with their abusive husbands instead of being held adequately to find safety and protection from the perpetrators.
Do you think that your husband could have been treated or helped or had some sort of psychological help? And if he had, would you have stayed with him? I mean, did you still love him?
Well, that is a very complex question you've asked me, because what happens with domestic violence is that victims are groomed by the perpetrators. So yes, I did love him, but victims are groomed by perpetrators, and when the victim realizes what has been happening to her, the love that was there is eaten away until it vanishes. So even if he got help, I'm not sure if he would change, because perpetration of domestic violence is a chronic problem. It's not something that will go away overnight, and the perpetrator will only change if he is completely willing to change.
Okay, Kudakwashe and Nyakudya, thank you very much indeed for joining us on the programme. Police searching for